Good narcotics agents must know and love narcotics.
Officers Mack and Perez were convicted for unrelated crimes. Mack for bank robbery, Perez for stealing cocaine and other serious felonies.
You gotta decide whether you're a wolf or a sheep.
Rafael Perez was a LAPD narcotics officer who became the focal point of the Rampart scandal. This was widespread corruption throughout the LAPD's anti-gang unit during the late 1990s. Rafael Perez became a government witness for his crimes connected to the corruption. Denzel Washington, for his role in a 2001 movie Training Day, claimed he emulated Rafael Perez to bring about the likeness of a corrupt LAPD cop. Investigations carried out by the FBI and Internal Affairs of the LAPD revealed Rafael Perez may have been connected to the murder of rap star Biggie Smalls. In this video, we will take a look into the case of Rafael Perez and how he...
How? No fucking way, bro.
Likeness of a corrupt LAPD cop. Investigations carried out by the FBI and Internal Affairs of the LAPD revealed Rafael Perez may have been connected to the murder of rap star Biggie Smalls. In this video, we will take a look into the case of Rafael.
They have been connected? No way, bro. This is crazy. And especially if they made a movie about him that turned out to be such a classic.
Rafael Perez and how he inspired the 2001 movie Training Day. With that being said, let's get into it. Rafael Perez is a Puerto Rican national who is a former police officer with the LAPD in Los Angeles. Perez graduated from high school in 1985 and enlisted in the United States Marine Corps. He was hired by the LAPD after leaving the
What's good, Aiden? How you doing? Welcome to the chat, man. I see this is your first time in here. Welcome, man. Join in, man. Where you from? Yeah, I'm good, man. I see you new in the chat, bro. Where you from? Tell us where you from, bro. I'm not too bad, man. I'm just watching this interesting docu. Is this a documentary? I guess so. Pretty much. Like a small one, though.
In the military in 1989. Prior to this, he had been rejected by agencies in California due to acting gang-like. Once in the LAPD, Rafael Perez began by serving on routine patrol duties. By 1992, Perez was transferred to a narcotics unit. In 1995, Perez was transferred to the Rampart division and assigned to Crash, an anti-gang unit. The Rampart division serves communities in the west of downtown Los Angeles.
This is insane. South Asia, I appreciate you, man. Do you do music reactions? I got 5 music suggestions. If you can't, it's alright. Do you have also videos? Yeah, man. Pretty much. I'm just watching this video at the moment. Starting off with this video I've got right now. Yeah, just watching this video at the moment. But you're probably not gonna wanna wait for a 17-minute video to finish, bro, because it is 17 minutes 16 now. So yeah, although I do take suggestions usually, yeah, video reactions is what I've been trying to focus on, but yeah, I do take suggestions.
Angeles. The division formed the Community Resources Against Street Hoodlums, which is known as CRASH. This was an anti-gang unit. However, it soon became known that many of the officers may have been tied into the gangs they were assigned to control. Perez gained a reputation as a tough and effective officer. He was valued for his fluency in Spanish and his knowledge of the LA gangs. It was later found out that Perez was rumored to have been a blood gang member. While serving as a LAPD officer, Perez was involved in numerous crimes and corruption. This involved the shooting and framing of Javier Ovando, a gang member who was falsely imprisoned to 27 years.
Wait, is this the guy who played Snoop Dogg played this guy? Nah, bro. I know Snoop didn't play this guy. The only guy I can think of in jail right now, sorry, in a wheelchair from the movie is Snoop. Snoop is the only guy that was in a wheelchair. So would that have been the guy that Snoop played? Nah, I don't think so. Interested enough. This is the only reference I can connect to.
years under false testimony given by Perez. In addition to this, Perez was connected to the crime of theft and resale of at least $800,000 worth of cocaine from the LAPD evidence locker. Once Rafael Perez was caught, he became a government informant and implicated over 70 LAPD officers in one of the most widespread police corruption cases in history, which became known as the Rampart scandal. The Rampart scandal concerned widespread police corruption in the crash anti-gang unit of the LAPD's Rampart division in the late 1990s. More than 70 police officers assigned to or associated with the Rampart crash unit were implicated in some form of misconduct. The scandal became one of the most widespread cases of documented police corruption in United States history. The officers involved were responsible for a long list of offences which included false testimony for false imprisonment, planting of false evidence, unprovoked shootings, stealing drugs from evidence lockers and dealing them, covering up for these crimes, and many other acts of corruption. The officers involved got tattoos of the Rampart logo to illustrate who was part of the gang. The Rampart investigation began in 1999 after Rafael Perez was arrested the year previous. On August 25, 1998, Perez was arrested for stealing 2.7 kilograms of cocaine from a department property room. His December 1998 trial ended as a mistrial. To avoid a second trial and a possible conviction of his second wife, on September 8, 1999, he agreed to a plea bargain with authorities. In his plea bargain, he revealed the Rampart scandal in exchange for immunity. Rafael Perez initially implicated over 70 officers in wrongdoing. Of those officers, there was enough evidence found to bring 58 before an internal administrative board. It cost the city of Los Angeles $125 million in settlements. The investigation revealed that crooked LAPD cops may have had a
Yo, are you a bot? Yeah, I think that's a bot. W bot, man, in the chat. Nice try, buddy.
had a connection to one of the biggest rap labels of the 1990s, Death Row Records. And settlement. November 8th, 1999, he agreed to a plea bargain with authorities. In his plea bargain, he revealed the Rampart scandal in exchange for immunity. Rafael Perez initially implicated over 70 officers in wrongdoing. Of those officers, there was enough evidence found to bring 58 before an internal administrative board. It cost the city of Los Angeles $125 million in settlements. The investigation revealed that crooked LAPD cops may have had a connection to one of the biggest rap labels of the 1990s, Death Row Records. Death Row Records was an American record label founded in 1992 by Suge Knight, Dr. Dre, and others. The record label became one of the largest providers of gangster rap music during the 1990s and has been reported to have been pulling in a revenue of over $750 million, which in today's standards is $1.2 billion. Death Row Records had notable artists such as Dr. Dre, Snoop Dogg, and Tupac. Between 1993 to 1994, Suge Knight got in touch with Compton LAPD officer Reggie Wright Jr. He was son to Reggie Wright Sr., who was the head of Compton's gang division. Suge Knight gave Reggie Wright Jr. $300,000 to start Right Way's Protective Services. This was a security service supplying security for Death Row and its artists. Suge Knight advised Reggie Wright to hire police officers as security. To this day, Reggie Wright Jr. has claimed the only officer he had officially working for Death Row was Richard McCauley. However, Reggie Wright Jr. also claimed on the 2017 TV show Who Shot Biggie and Tupac that he had up to 30 police officers working for him, claiming it was like having a police department of his own. An interdepartmental memorandum signed by Deputy Chief David Gascon claimed Officer Richard McCauley was the only officer who applied for a work permit under Death Row Security Right Way Protective Services. This meant it was only this officer who was officially down on paper as working for Death Row. An investigation carried out by LAPD detective Russell Paul revealed the protection service started to hire LAPD cops unofficially to work for $75 an hour. Reggie Wright Jr. has denied these claims many times. Kevin Gaines was an LAPD cop who was Snoop Dogg's bodyguard. He was also dating Suge Knight's ex Sharifa Knight, who was Snoop Dogg's manager. The cops became known as associates of Death Row. They were known as associates as they were never down on paper as working for Death Row. Russell Paul's findings claim that the associates were allegedly assisting people within or connected to Death Row Records in drug trafficking by intercepting police radios, escorting them on pickups and drop-offs, and by giving them suitable locations to make meets. A police report by LAPD detective Russell Paul claimed that Kevin Gaines was allegedly helping out with the drug activity. The names which commonly come up connecting to this case are LAPD cops Kevin Gaines, Rafael Perez, and David Mack. In a prison interview with Suge Knight released in 2020, Suge claimed Rafael Perez was implicated in the murder of Tupac Shakur, as they were also alleged.
Yo. What's up, Cake Inc, man? What up? What's going on, man? I need to keep the chat up. Bro. Yeah, I'm doing okay, man. You know what I mean? Just looking for something to watch right now. I mean, currently watching this little documentary. Where you from, though? I see you're new in the chat. First time here. See? Let us know where you from, man. I'm just paying attention to this little documentary, bro. Like, this is interesting. Little reference of the one and only movie Training Day. If you know, you know. Oh, man. I appreciate you for the suggestions. Definitely, man. Definitely. But hey, this goddamn documentary, bro, it's something that I just need to watch, bro. It's a must watch for sure. Like, because this is a reference to Training Day, though. Like, apparently Training Day might have been based upon a true story. It's just something I can't miss, bro. If you know Training Day, classic movie by the one and only Denzel Washington, dog. Although apparently rappers like rappers like Tupac and ex-mogul of Death Row, apparently they were involved with this guy. How you doing, Bieber? Join in, guys. Join in. Let's watch this. Which channel is this? Nah, it's a YouTube video. Bro. The real Denzel Washington from the movie Training Day. Apparently, the guy Denzel Washington portrayed in Training Day was real, and he might have been associated with Suge Knight. Might have been involved in Biggie's killing. I don't know, bro. Like, the amazing things, the amount of things that you find on the internet, bro, is crazy. It will blow your mind, bro. So I'm here like watching this thinking, yo, okay, I need to find out what's going on. I didn't know that either. I was on my YouTube just scrolling, looking for something to watch, and then all of a sudden I bump into this video like, yo, I had to click this motherfucker and do a little video reaction to this. Because this is insane. But I hope you're doing, baby. But yeah, man. You and I both, man.
Allegedly trying to kill Suge Knight as well.
The sad thing about it, Atlanta wasn't even a shooter, you know? Perez was all involved. They were trying to kill.
Look, this is the guy.
The thing about it, Atlanta wasn't even a shooter, you know? Perez.
This is the guy that Denzel Washington apparently portrayed in Training Day. This is Alonzo. I don't know why they changed the name though. So if this was really based upon a true story, if Training Day was based on upon a true story, why didn't they use their real name then? Obviously, usually if it's based upon someone, they use their real name. But Alonzo is the guy that Denzel Washington played. I mean, and this guy is called Perez. And this is meant to be the guy that Denzel Washington portrayed. I don't know, bro. Like, I'm just watching this thinking, yo, let me know how accurate this video is to the actual movie, because I'm trying to like connect the references from this documentary to the movie, see how accurate it really is, bro, and if they really made the movie relatable to any of what's going on. Trying to find out if they made the movie relatable to any of the events that took place when this guy was apparently alive. That is meant to be the guy that Denzel Washington portrayed in the movie. But yeah, Denzel Washington in Training Day, classic movie. We all know about that movie, but was it based on a true story? That's the real question, though. On September 7th, 1996, Tupac, Suge Knight and Death Row traveled to Las Vegas. They went to Las Vegas to watch a boxing match at the MGM Grand.
But what's this got to do with my man though? Like, is this really connected to him? Like, bro, what? You think Suge Knight or Diddy were involved in Pac death? It's a tricky one, bro. It's a tricky one. It's a tricky one. It's a tricky one. I don't know about Suge Knight. Maybe. I wouldn't even be surprised if the truth came out that Diddy or Suge Knight were involved in either Biggie or Pac's death, though. I wouldn't even be surprised, bro. At this point, it wouldn't even surprise me, bro. Based upon the reputation that Suge Knight had back in the day, being the guy that he was in the 90s, and now with Diddy in jail, with all this shit coming out, coming to the light, him being exposed, it's like, it wouldn't even surprise me. So what are the odds? What are the chances? The chances of them being involved in Biggie and Pac's death, the chances are very, very high, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? It could be very high. Like, the probability and the possibility of that being true could be very high, though. So it's like, especially from Diddy, I don't know. But if you really think about it, the reason why Biggie even got killed was because they thought Biggie had something to do with Pac getting killed. Because remember the first time Pac got shot? That was the whole reason why Biggie and Pac got into it. You know, because Pac thought that Biggie set him up to get shot the first time. So when they finally took down Pac and they killed him, guess what? The guys that had Pac's back, yeah, the guys that were riding with Pac, everyone else that was with Pac, you know what I mean? Everyone else that was with Pac probably thought that Biggie had something to do with Pac's death. So they probably, because of that, and during that time when Pac passed, yeah, that's when they were beefing, when Biggie and Pac were beefing. You know what I'm saying? So they probably thought he had something to do with Pac's death. So therefore, I believe that the people that came for Biggie were involved with Pac. They were Pac's people. And I'm not saying that because Pac probably set it up, because at the time Pac was already dead anyway. It's probably because they thought that Biggie had something to do with it, since they were beefing during that time when he passed. So which means that there could be a possibility of, who knows, Suge being connected to Biggie's death. It kind of makes sense as well if you think about it. Since the first time, the first beef kind of kicked off because they thought that Pac had something to do with it. That Biggie had something to do with Pac getting shot the first time. So that's how they got into it. That's how the beef started. So since that was the cause of it, of the first beef kind of taking place, and then it led to Pac actually getting killed for good. And not even a year later, not even a year, Biggie then gets taken down.
Between Mike Tyson and Bruce Seldon, and also to go to Club 662 so Tupac could perform. While in Las Vegas, the security met with Reggie Wright Jr. at attorney for Club 662, George Calisa's home. Some of the security guards were Frank Alexander and Michael Moore, who were under Right Way's protective services. While there, Reggie Wright Jr. told the security team not to carry their weapons while guarding Tupac, and was told to leave their weapons in a car. Frank Alexander claimed this was the first time Reggie Wright Jr. had ever told him not to carry his weapon. Reggie Wright Jr. claimed he told the security not to carry their guns while in the club. However, this becomes a contradiction, as Michael Moore, who was assigned to Tupac, refused to give up his weapon, so he was removed from Tupac and was told to stay with Reggie Wright Jr. at Club 662. Between the security, there were 5 Nextel radios which they used to communicate. Frank Alexander, who had been assigned to Tupac, had his radio removed from him by Kevin Hackey prior to the trip. Kevin Hackey was an undercover FBI agent acting as a bodyguard, who was also the former police partner of Reggie Wright Jr. Bodyguard Michael Moore also didn't have his radio. After watching the fight, Tupac and Suge Knight travelled to Club 662. At 11:15 PM, while stopped at a red light on East Flamingo Road and Colville Lane, a white 4-door late model Cadillac pulled up to the right side of the BMW Tupac and Suge Knight were travelling in. Someone inside rapidly fired a Glock into the BMW. Tupac was hit 4 times and Suge Knight was hit in the head. Michael Moore, the boy, into the BMW.
My days, 4 times, bro. 4 times. That actually took him out. It took him out the game for good. Those 4 shots is there, though. First time was actually 5, but damn.
Tupac was hit 4 times and Suge Knight was hit in the head. Michael Moore, the bodyguard who refused to give over his weapon and was at Club 662 with Reggie Wright Jr., claimed over Reggie Wright's radio, which the security used, he heard the words, "Got him." He then claimed to have heard another voice say, "Don't say anything over the radio."
I was working at 662. I heard something over the Nextels that we all carried for security. And what I heard was, God, right before me and Mr. Wright got in the vehicle to go get to the hospital, someone else came on the radio and said, "Hey, don't say nothing on the radio."
Suge Knight, during a prison interview released in 2020 done with Michael Carlin, revealed that he believes Rafael Perez was involved in the Tupac shooting and it was an attempt to also kill Suge Knight to take over the almost billion-dollar company.
Perez was all involved. They were trying to kill me too, but see, because Perez and Red are good friends, and Perez and Sarita and Red is great friends, and so all those three together were trying to plot.
At the time of Tupac's shooting, Kevin Gaines was on a special assignment in Las Vegas. Excluding Tupac's mother and family, Gaines was one of the last people to visit Tupac in hospital while bodyguarding Snoop Dogg. Suge Knight went on record claiming that he didn't know any of the crooked cops and that Reggie Wright Jr. knew them.
I never had a conversation with none of those dudes. Never met those dudes. They never worked for me. They knew Reggie Wright. They didn't know me.
Reggie Wright Jr. also had several Las Vegas police working for him to provide security in Las Vegas. In the TV show Suge Knight, American Dream, American Nightmare, Suge revealed how someone connected to Reggie Wright Jr. was responsible for cutting in front of their BMW, allowing for them to be blocked in.
When is middle lane? As we get right up to this point right here, at the last minute.
Hold on, y'all. Gotta check that ricey.
One of the dudes who deal with Reg, something that he know not to do, cuts in front of us. As he cuts in front of us, other car comes right there, this is a Cadillac. Cadillac starts to shoot.
He also claimed in a 2020 prison interview that Frank Alexander later revealed to him that he was told to box him in from behind to make sure there were no escape points. 24 years after the murder took place, Suge Knight has now come out to claim that crooked LAPD cops, including Rafael Perez, was involved in setting up the murder of Tupac in a bigger plot to take over Death Row Records. It's been speculated that it was achieved by intercepting police radios and using handheld radios to set up the assassination. These same cops have also been connected to the murder of Biggie Smalls, which occurred 6 months later.
6 months later, like I said, bro. Not even a year after Pac passed, they came for Biggie. Interesting. This is crazy. Not even a year. They didn't even wait a year after, bro. When Biggie passed, 6 months later, then they got Biggie, bro. Like, not even a year, 2, 3, nothing, bro. In 6 months, though.
On March 9th, 1997, Biggie Smalls was assassinated as he and Sean Puff Daddy Combs left the 11th annual Soul Train Music Awards after party held at the Peterson Automotive Museum on Wilshire Boulevard in Los Angeles. Soon after,
Them stupid after parties, man. That's crazy. What it turned out to be now. Them after parties, man. Them after parties. And it's crazy because even Kevin Hart made the joke about them after parties. Even Kevin Hart made the joke about them after parties. And these guys were in an after party before Biggie passed. There was always an after party with this guy Diddy, bro. Talking about there's no party like Diddy, like a Diddy party. Always, man. But during them after parties, there was always something going on. I know I'm a bit off topic right now, but I'm talking about, because I'm talking about the Diddy's case right now, innit? I'm a bit off topic, but it's just because he mentioned that after party thing and I couldn't even help to think that them after parties that Diddy used to organize and everything was always a thing, bro. And there was always something up. There was always something going on there behind those after parties. And this is crazy because after them after parties, that's when they got Biggie. That's when they got our legend Biggie, bro. Biggie still had so much potential. I really wanted the commission. We might be onto something here. But that's what I'm trying to say. Biggie, yeah, ain't it funny though? Don't you find it like such a coincidence that they didn't even wait a year or a bit longer to get Biggie though? 6 months after passed, yeah, they went for Biggie. So I'm not saying that Biggie's death is, you know, is somehow or somewhat Pac's fault, but all I'm saying is that Biggie's death, the people that went for Biggie were probably Pac's people, because they thought that Pac's death had something to do with Biggie. So 6 months later, they then got Biggie. That's just crazy though. Like when you think about it, 6 months within 6 months.
after, unrelated to the case, a man by the name of Kenneth Boagni was arrested for a robbery and afterwards testified during the Rampart scandal. He claimed to have been a cellmate of Rafael Perez. Kenneth Boagni claimed Rafael Perez told him on the night Biggie Smalls was killed, Rafael Perez was at the museum providing security for Death Row Records. He claimed he told him that David Mack was with him. Kenneth claimed on a television show Who Shot Biggie and Tupac that Rafael Perez told him shortly after Tupac was killed in September of 1996, David Mack was informed to get someone to do, quote, do what the boss wanted done. Now this boss could have meant the head of Death Row Records Suge Knight or David Mack's alleged employer Reggie Wright Jr. Kenneth Boagni also testified in court. He was an informant who helped exonerate 5 police officers in the past. His statement became known as the $1 Million Testimony. This was as a testimony was buried by the LAPD, and as a result the judge...
This is crazy, but when I think about it, one thing I'm thinking about right now is how the same way they killed Pac is the same way they killed Biggie. A fucking drive-by. Both got killed the same way, bro.
Judge in a $400 million wrongful death lawsuit by Biggie's mother fined the city of Los Angeles $1.1 million for suppressing the testimony. In his testimony, Kenneth claimed Rafael Perez told him Reggie Wright Jr. and David Kennard allegedly set up a hit on both Sean Puffy Combs and Christopher Biggie Smalls Wallace.
At this point, this has nothing to do with the movie Training Day, bro. I literally clicked the video just to see if there was any references of the movie Training Day, fam. Like, oh, if this was somewhat connected to the movie Training Day. But this is so off, bro. So off, fam. It's literally the movie doesn't even matter at this point. So what does this have to do with the movie Training Day, bro? It's literally nothing to do with the movie. We're talking about hip hop in this music. We're talking about music. We're talking about music, bro. This is what the video is about. Look, the name of this video. Look, let me show you, bro. I literally clicked the video because this is meant to be a reference to the movie Training Day. Look, that cop. The real Denzel Washington from the movie Training Day. They're saying that's that cop there, the Denzel Washington played in Training Day, is that cop, that Perez cop that you saw. That's him. Apparently that's meant to be him. That's why I clicked the video. That's why I'm watching the video. This turned out to be a whole hip-hop documentary instead. When I watched the video, when I clicked the video, particularly to see how connected this is to the movie and to compare the references, like to connect the references. But this is a whole hip hop fucking documentary here.
With the bounty being $1 million. Allegedly, it was to go with paying the killer $250,000 up front and owing them $750,000 afterwards. David Kenner was a criminal defense attorney for death row artists. According to author Michael Carlin, based on Russell Paul's findings, David Kenner, with the help of dirty cops, helped Snoop Dogg get away with murder in 1996 by stealing evidence. Kenneth Bragney claimed Rafael Perez told...
That's him. He is meant to be the guy. He's meant to be the guy that Denzel Washington played in the movie. No way, can't find it. Talked about on Google. Yeah, that's why I clicked it. Was that clickbait? I'm starting to think that this was a clickbait. Like, this is meant to be the guy who Denzel Washington played in the movie. I might have fell for the clickbait though, because more times they're talking about Biggie and Pac getting killed, and the potential murderer or the person connected to the murderer responsible for Biggie and Pac's death. At this point, that's where we at. That's where we at, bro. And I literally clicked it just to see if he had anything to do with the movie. Might have got clickbait.
Told him Reggie Wright Jr. was like David Mack's sidekick at the time of Biggie's murder. Reggie Wright Jr. denied ever knowing David Mack. Kenneth Bragney claimed that David Mack reached out to Amir Muhammad, who he went to school with, to carry out the hit, claiming he was already an assassin for the Nation of Islam.
Behind the Music has tracked down a witness who claims he saw Amir Muhammad outside the Peterson Museum the night of the murder.
Yeah, it's the same guy.
Oh my God.
Same guy that walked up on me. I don't know if he did the shooting, but this is the guy who walked up on me that night.
According to Kenneth's testimony,
Oh, did you actually make a research? Did you go and do research? Or no, I found it now. Washington took some inspiration from Raphael to make his character look more realistic. Okay. I like if he was based on a true story. When it's based on a true story, I like to then do my research on how accurate it is to real life or to the person that they portrayed in the movie. That's what I like to do, you know. When I saw this, I was like, yo, I gotta see this. That's why I clicked on it. But you know, in movies, man, in movies they tend to exaggerate, add on some extra shit, make up some shit. In movie they do exaggerate though, so not everything that you're gonna watch in biopic movies or movies based on true story is all the way true, bro, because there's a lot of things where they're gonna be way off, not even anywhere near close to how it happened in real life. I don't know if the script was inspired of it too. It's hard to find it. It might be a big lie. I believe the whole movie was just an exaggeration, not even like that accurate. The accuracy of the movie to the actual real life events is probably 98% cap. I'd say 98% cap. 98%. That 2%, they might have got it. They might have got it a bit down, you know, as far as the accuracy to the movie. Because so far they're saying that this man was arrested. The cop got arrested. Not this guy, but the guy that Denzel Washington played in the movie. They're saying that he got arrested so far. Not that he got killed, because in the movie he gets killed. But let's watch until the end. Maybe in the end they will say that he got killed in the drive-by like Tupac and Biggie. Because the only accurate thing that I can connect this documentary to the movie is the drive-by. Is how Denzel Washington in the end gets killed in a drive-by. That's how Biggie and Pac got killed in a drive-by. That's literally how Alonzo in Training Day got killed. That's the only thing that I can connect to this documentary from the movie. So
LAPD cop Kevin Gaines allegedly failed to intercept Puffy's car as it ran a red light in front, saving Puffy's life. This has been corroborated by Puffy's former bodyguard Gene Deal, as he was the person who told the driver to run the red light. Kenneth stated that Reggie Wright Jr. and David Kenner informed David Mack and Rafael Perez that they would not receive the $750,000 as the hit was for both Biggie and Puffy. On November 6, 1997...
Ooh, they tried to get Puffy as well? Oh lordy lord, they came for Puffy too, bro. Hold up, let me go back a little.
Wright Jr. and David Kenner informed Davidson, who told the driver to run the red light, to set Puffy's car into Kenner.
I don't know if he did the shooting, but this the guy who walked up on me that night.
According to Kenneth's testimony, LAPD cop Kevin Gaines allegedly failed to intercept Puffy's car as it ran a red light in front, saving Puffy's life. This has been corroborated by Puffy's former bodyguard Gene Deal, as he was the person who told the driver to run the red light. Kenneth stated that Reggie Wright Jr. and David Kenner informed David Mack and Rafael Perez that they would not receive the $750,000 as the hit was for both Biggie and Puffy. On November 6, 1997, David Mack and two others robbed a Bank of America near the University of Southern California. David Mack used his girlfriend who worked at the bank.
They robbed the fucking bank? Is that how the guys were moving back in the day? Damn. Nah, bro. I know GTA is not just inspired on a movie, bro. GTA be getting inspired off real life events as well, G. They be getting inspired off real times as well, real life events shit. It's weird, I see it on Wiki, but the searches mentioned can't be found. Yeah. What else you looking up though? What else you looking up?
The bank to get him into the vault where he robbed $722,000, which still remains unaccounted for. Kenneth claimed he used this money to pay Amir Muhammad, as Amir wasn't taking no for an answer. David Mack used 2 vacation days to take days off while working at the LAPD. These were on the days of the Biggie Smalls murder and the day of the bank robbery. David Mack was arrested a month later. David Mack used 2 vacation days to take days off while working at the LAPD. These were on the days of the Biggie Smalls murder and the day of the bank robbery. David Mack was arrested a month later after his girlfriend told authorities it was him that robbed the bank with her help. When police searched David Mack's home, they found a black SS Chevy Impala matching the description of the shooter's vehicle in the Biggie Smalls murder. They also found
Whoa! I got clickbait. I fell for the clickbait, but I ain't gonna lie, this is interesting. This is interesting. Hold on a minute, I gotta check up on the food and that. From the club to the limo to the club. And if I wasn't up, I didn't know what's up. I don't even know what was that all about, bro. I was just trying to make up my own lyrics and shit from B2K. Anyway, let's get back to it, man. Let's stop all the goofy shit right now, bro. I'm trying to like really deep and dive into this documentary, G, like for real. Really trying to get serious with this documentary, bro, because this is some shit. We're doing some detective shit. Are we on our detective stream today, guys? Detective series stream today. By the way, when you have time, can you react to this? What's that? What's that video, bro? What's that video, bro? Let us know. Let us know before I click on it, bro. I'm a bit noisy. I like to find out first before I click on it, since I'm reacting to this video first. I like to know what it's about. If you don't mind enlightening us, I'd be happy to know. Happy to know. Happy to know. Alright, man. Let's get serious. Let's get serious, guys.
Bullets which matched a rare type used in the murder. These bullets were buried underneath the floorboards of his house.
Bro, this is crazy. See, this was the car. This was the car. What? That was there at the night of the shooting, huh?
For help. When police searched David Mack's home, they found a black SS Chevy Impala matching the description of the
I ain't gonna lie, that does look like the car though. Even though I only seen it from movie scenes. But there was a picture, the last picture that Tupac took. That's crazy. He took one last picture before he passed. Yo, bro. Hey, yo, bro, like, do you find that crazy? Pac had one more picture, bro. They took a picture of Pac on a night and in a car that he was in minutes before he passed. Someone took a picture of bro. That's crazy. That was the very last picture, bro. That was the very last picture, bro. Yeah, it's definitely bullshit. The two searches mentioned is a university and an academic that has to do with press. At this point in time, this ain't even about that cop from Training Day, bro. This is just about the whole Big Impact situation, bro. Like, I literally fell for the clickbait. Oh my days. This is how they really making people click on videos, bro. You could have just said the death of Big Impact, bro. That would have still got people to click on it because they care about Big Impact. So why you have to make it about Denzel Washington and Training Day, bro? If anything, Big Impact, making this video about Big Impact and putting down the thumbnail would have probably got more attention, bro. I think they were more important and more iconic. I mean, shout out and much respect and love to Denzel Washington, the legend in the acting game. But Big Impact, come on, bro. They probably have the same, it would have the same impact. It would have the same kind of impact putting down a thumbnail if bro was only doing that for clickbait. Yeah, it's definitely bullshit. What's the video about though? Did you watch the video? What is it about? Let me know.
The shooter's vehicle in the Biggie Smalls murder. They also found bullets which matched a rare type used in the murder. These bullets were buried underneath the floorboards of his house. Phil Carson of the FBI was ready to make an arrest based on this information, but his superiors told him to back off. Russell Paul was also ready to make an arrest, however, his superiors at the LAPD told him to back down. On April 16, 2007, Biggie's relatives filed a wrongful death lawsuit against the city of Los Angeles, former LAPD officer Rafael Perez, and his partner and former officer Nino Durden. They were seeking unspecified general compensation and punitive monetary damages. The lawsuit states that Perez, Nino Durden, their partner, former officer David Mack, and certain unknown persons were responsible for the death of Biggie Smalls. Due to Rafael Perez's connections to so many unsolved cases and acts of corruption, he has inspired many movie characters in Hollywood.
Oh, he inspired. According to your research, you was right, Bieber. According to your research, you was right. It was inspired. Because you said that the two sources mentioned is a university and an academy that has to do with the press. But you said somewhere up. I thought that was the latest message you sent me. No. What did you say, bro? Didn't you say that you was like some sort of inspiration? Rock Nation's monopoly. Yeah, see, that makes sense because bro here has just confirmed that he was just an inspiration to the movie. No wonder why the last scene it was him getting shot at a drive-by in the middle of the night. In a black car. It was the same car as well. It was that car. It was the same car that Biggie got shot at, bro. If you watch the movie Training Day, the car is kind of identical to the same car that Tupac got shot in, bro. And it was at nighttime and it was at a drive-by. It was a drive-by. So the last scene, how bro got killed in Training Day was the same way how Tupac got killed, bro. That's crazy. That's crazy. So that part there might have been the only thing that they got from, I would say, from this documentary, I guess. You know, as an inspiration to put into the movie. Yeah, that's according to Reddit. I don't take that as a reliable source. If there is an interview or tweet from Denzel saying that, I'd believe it, but there isn't. I'm just saying though, if they draw inspiration from this, and if bro is saying that this was inspired by that, but then what does he have to do with Big Impact? I mean, I don't know, bro. I'm just trying to make sense out of this video, bro. Unless I just fell for the clickbait. At this point in time, bro, we out here trying to solve mysteries and shit. Doing all this research on some CSI situation. Trying to connect the dots, put two and two together. Like, bro, all because there's a big possibility that I might have fell for the clickbait. Bro said all of this about Big Impact just to say in the end that this was an inspiration by this guy. Denzel Training Day was an inspiration.
Hollywood. Of corruption moves.
Hold on. So now he wants to talk about the movie. After all this time, he's gonna give us the last 2 minutes of the video. Because that's all we have now. That's all we have left. To talk about the damn movie, bro. This is crazy. Look. Look at this. Somebody look at this.
Due to Rafael Perez's connections to so many unsolved cases and acts of corruption, he has inspired many movie characters in Hollywood.
Look at that, bro. Bro said all of that just to talk about the movie in the last 2 minutes. Done all that, fam.
Training Day is an American crime thriller film released on October 5th, 2001. It stars Denzel Washington and Ethan Hawke. Denzel Washington plays a character of Alonzo Harris, a Spanish-speaking LAPD narcotics officer who is looking to initiate Ethan Hawke's character Jake Hoyt into his division. Jake soon finds out that Alonzo is a dirty cop as he begins to involve him in crimes. The film also features Death Row co-owner and artist Dr. Dre and Snoop Dogg. After the film's release, Denzel Washington said he emulated the style of Rafael Perez to give authenticity to his portrayal of a corrupt LAPD cop. In the movie, the character's vehicle has a license plate.
Wait, so you said he emulated the style? Denzel Washington actually said that he emulated the style from that cop? That IRL cop? Bro said that's not true. That's not true, bro?
Denzel Washington said he emulated the style of Rafael Perez to give authenticity to his portrayal of a corrupt LAPD cop. In the movie, the character's vehicle has a license plate of ORP 967. This is said to stand for Officer Rafael Perez, born 1967. The director of the film stated that the emergence of the Rampart scandal in the late 1990s
That guy, the guy who made the video, he's moving like he done a whole research with these Wikipedia shit and that.
catalyzed the completion of the film. Denzel Washington also grew a beard in order to emulate the appearance of Rafael Perez. In this video, we took a look into the real story behind Denzel Washington's character in the 2001 movie Training Day. It was based on Rafael Perez, a dirty LAPD cop who was a focal
He keeps saying he was based on that cop.
point of the Rampart scandal in the 1990s. As you saw, Rafael Perez has been connected by some to the unsolved murders of Tupac and Biggie. It's believed that both cases will forever remain unsolved, as if there were connections to the LAPD, the lawsuits made by the artists' estates could bankrupt the city of Los Angeles, as it would be in the billions of dollars. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section below. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the
Here's my thoughts, bro. Here's my thoughts.
Stop the cap. Stop the cap. Stop the cap.
That's my thoughts for the video, bro.